had foundation all over my lips and I looked like I had no lips. So I was like, let me just put this red lip on and redo it, okay? As you can tell in the title of the video, let's just jump into it. I am going to church! Hey, 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 hey! Yes. So yes, I have not been to church in a minute, and by a minute I mean like close to 15 years. And yeah, I'm excited to see how things have changed, and all that. A little backstory about moi. I grew up baptized, so part of my family is Catholic, and they're still Catholic. And then I started living with my dad, and my dad is Jewish. So then I've basically been to more synagogues than churches in my lifetime, a lot more synagogues. And even in college, I joined the Jewish student collective, and I would go to Shabbat services on Fridays and stuff. So that is kind of my religious background and why I haven't been to church in a good minute. But yes, I received this text message from my friend today earlier, and she was like, I'm going to church, you want to join? And I said, heck yeah. And she posted about this church about a week ago in her Instagram stories, and everyone was singing, and I was like, yes. And she was like, do you go to church? And I was like, I only go to the singing ones, the ones that are bopping musically, because I love gospel music. Even if I'm not a Christian, I love that gospel music. And so she was like, yeah, okay, let's go. And they have a 6 p.m. service, and the church I'll be going to is Hillsong. It's in Lower Manhattan. I think they might have branches other places, but that's where I know of. And funny enough, I actually really don't know this friend a lot. This friend I just met about 2 weeks prior, okay? And you're probably like, what girl? You're gonna go with someone like, you're gonna go out with someone you just met 2 weeks ago. But no, I really trust this person, and we hung out once before outside after I met them. Okay, let me just tell you how I met them. It's actually quite funny and cute. So I was at the Brooklyn Museum for a Saturday night free event, and I was gonna go with a friend, but the friend bailed out, okay? And I was like, okay, I'm already here, like, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. I've traveled countries on my own. I can go to the Brooklyn Museum by myself, okay? And then there's a nice, amazing Afro-Latina DJ popping some music, boop, 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 out in the Brooklyn Museum. So I was dancing on the dance floor, and all of a sudden this person pulled up next to me, and she started dancing too. So I love people who dance and who just don't care if they're alone too. They just express themselves. So it's like, I'm here for it. So me and her start talking. We're like, okay, this is our first times at the Brooklyn Museum. It's really popping out here. And then she was like, yeah, I just recently moved to New York City. She came out a month before I did. And I was like, word, I just moved here. And she was like, yeah, I just came here from Massachusetts. And I was like, I just came here from Massachusetts. I just graduated from blank college. And then her face fell. She was like, I just graduated from blank college. And we're like, what the heck? And she pulled up pictures to show that she wasn't lying, because it was just such a weird moment, and found out we graduated on the same day, the same class, the same school, okay? And we lived in houses that were basically so close, but our paths never met in Massachusetts. Our paths never crossed in Massachusetts. And we met for the first time here in Brooklyn in New York City on a dance floor. And I was like, heck yeah, I love these types of stories and meeting people. And instantly she became my friend. And so she's Christian, she's religious, and she's been going to this church, Hillsong, and I was so excited to come along with her, because sometimes people come into your life out of random to guide you into where you need to go. So I'm definitely hyped. I get really good energy all from that Instagram story, so I'm ready to see what it's all about. And yeah, let's look more into what Hillsong is about. I literally just know it's only a church in Manhattan. I looked up on Google maps, and I saw that it's in Lower Manhattan, so I can take the train out there, and it ain't no problem. It ain't no problem. So let's type in Hillsong Church. As you can see, this one, it's in New York City. That's the one I'm going to be going to, Lower Manhattan, okay. And I'm coming here, I'm seeing what kind of church it is. It's Pentecostal. I've never been to one. I've never been to a church with that affiliation and denomination. And I'm trying to learn more about the beliefs of Hillsong and how they were started and all that jazz. There's a whole cosmopolitan Cosmo article. You know, I thought they only did about dating advice, but they're out here doing about Hillsong. And then this is where I also found out that it was started by, it had like a band, and I don't know if the band came before the church or at the same time or what. So there is a band that makes amazing music. I'm trying to know all the tea. I'm going to that Cosmo article. So it was founded in Australia. Right here, I'm a born girl. I'm real born. And so it is international. They have places in the Netherlands. I think they have Chicago, Israel. So they're slowly but surely going all over the world. In New York, it has now a 6,000 strong parish. So 6,000 people belong in the congregation here in Hillsong, New York City. To me, that's wild. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this article after I see, okay, a Bieber confidant. No, just go. Now let's go to the Hillsong website. I really like that one of the first things you see is welcome home. That's just, I love that feeling of inclusivity. I'm really big on being inclusive. And these are all the locations it's in. There's one in LA and Boston, a lot of US locations. I guess those are the founders. Beautiful colors. Look at it. It looks like a concert, y'all. And these are the times. So I'll be going to the 6 p.m. service. And let's see if they have anything else to add. 6 p.m. What to expect. So I like that they offer some sort of childcare. And I also see down below there's a kids program. And my Hillsong. So it looks like there's a separate account. I don't know exactly what's that for. Here's Get Connected. They have different social groups. So that's pretty cool. And so that's basically what the website and stuff the internet has to offer. Now I'm excited to actually go and have my own personal experience and tell you guys what I think. Adios. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like these videos, if you want to come with me and see my spiritual journey. I'm also a traveler, so I post videos about me traveling the world if you're into that. I'm trying to create a little community here full of positive light beings and stuff. And yeah, if you want to contribute to that community, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah. Here's my outfit. Vámonos, I'm late. It's so cold, oh my gosh. Let's go get a seat. Oh wow, is that it? Hillsong Church, is that it? It says it's 1 minute away. That's humongous if it is. Everybody, so it's actually a few hours later. And by a few hours, I mean the next morning. Since last night, I got home around 8:30 since it was a late service, and then I couldn't film in the living room after, and I decided to just write it out in my journal. I had a lot of feelings, so I'm going to talk about those. And then now I woke up here. I want to tell you guys about my experience. And I didn't get a lot of footage. I got mostly footage of the service after, of the venue and stuff, because I didn't want to be like filming on my phone while this amazing service is going on. I wanted to immerse myself in the music and in what the preacher was saying, because he was saying some good wisdom nuggets, at least for me. But anywho, let's go in. I first went into the church, and it's right off one of the train stations. It was so freezing outside, and it was my first time going to it, as you know. So I did get lost for a bit, and I felt bad because I was late. And my friends were seated, and I don't have data on my phone, so I couldn't text them where they were. But thankfully, I went up and down the aisles, and I eventually found them like 10-15 minutes later. But you have to go through like security, and they check everything that's in your packets and stuff. And I pulled out my empty nutritional yeast container, and I was going to use that for the holy water, and they just started laughing. And later I found out that holy water is a Catholic thing. This is a Christian church. And since I was, like when I was a little baby, I grew up and I was baptized in a Catholic church and Catholic culture. Sometimes I forget to differentiate the two between Catholicism and Christianity. So I've been to a lot less Christian churches. That's what I realized. But maybe I dodged a bullet with the holy water, because looking it up, I saw like there's a research done, and 85% of the holy water tested had some fecal matter in it. And I was like, what the? Let's keep this holy. I was like, what the heck is going on? Why is there this really nasty stuff? Like, ew. But anyway, no one should be drinking holy water. That is my take. I went up there, and instantly the energy was so positive and so warm. That's what I really appreciated at first glance, being a newcomer. There was people of different ages, different races, genders, and they were all dressed like how I'm dressed. So it wasn't like, I guess in my mind, when I go to church, I'm thinking I'm going to be around older folks, and it's going to be really conservative, because when I went to synagogue, I would go to a conservative temple and stuff, but it was not like that. There's people my age, a lot of people my age were there, and they're singing, and there's a live band on the stage, and I'll show you some of the clips, or at least I showed you some in the beginning. But as you can see, the venue has a stage in the front. That's where the preacher is. That's where the music and stuff is being played live. And then there's a bottom floor, and then me and my friends were up on top in the balcony. So it's a pretty big place, and it was packed. Okay, so this is a very popular church. It's called, like I mentioned, Hillsong in New York City. and they have now congregations in New Jersey and Connecticut and other places. So it is spreading. And I can see why. It's like the energy is like popping, popping, popping. And so I found my friends, I wiggled in, and then that's when I was able to really stand and sit and take in what the preacher was saying. And there was this good song. I recorded some in my pocket. It was one of the lyrics was like, "Death has no hold on me," and that got me emotional because I don't know. I definitely am someone that's like afraid to die. I think that's pretty common, but I need to not let that ruin how I live my life, or I need to not think about that all the time, and have a lot of trust in God, in navigating my life, that my life has purpose, and when it's time to go. But I shouldn't be operating with this anxiety about that. It was really, the musicians were great, the voices were beautiful. They had this really cool screens, since it was so big. They had screens on the balcony too with the lyrics of the song, so even if this was your first time, you can sing along, and that's what I really, really appreciated. And in temple, I don't know Hebrew, but I know some of the songs because I've sung them over the years and stuff. But it's good to look at what I'm saying, and the preacher was just regular jeans, a blouse, and they were young, probably like 30 years old. And then there's a tribute to, a woman came up, there's a tribute to Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and that made me almost tear up. Well, that did make me tear up, let's be real. And basically, she was saying how, look at the room, look how diverse this room is, because it was incredibly diverse. Dr. King marched and fought for what we have here, for our rights, the civil rights. And I was like, preach, because his legacy is still living on. Even though he was persecuted, he was jailed, he continued. And then the preacher was talking about something that really resonated with me. And he was talking about the new year. You know how this was January, a lot of people set goals, New Year resolutions. And he was saying that research shows that, he said basically, guess what date that goals become failed missions, whatever. And he phrased it a lot better than I did. But basically, guess what date of the year that the goals that were set on January 1st fail. And he said January 12th. Okay, so 12 days after the new year is when the goals finish and when people fail. And so he was saying that a lot of people focus on what they want to do, whether they want to lose 10 pounds or something. So they're really focused on the results. But a lot of people don't think about who they want to become. And that was there's some in the crowd. He also said this, a really good nugget of wisdom. If the enemy can't make you disobey God and God's, what God wants from you, then they will send distractions. They will get you distracted. And I was like, it was just, I don't know, something in my mind clicked because I'm so easily distracted. Even though I feel like I have this calling to do something, to write, to put these videos out there and to really help people, I get so distracted by my phone. I get so distracted on TV, and it causes small bits of happiness in the present time, but when I look back at the long run, I'm be like, okay, I'm nowhere closer to my dreams, you know. Um, so something he said was for people to practice praying for focus to God and stuff, get that supernatural focus, you know. And I actually did that a few weeks ago, and it helped me. So I'm gonna try to continue doing that, praying God, so that I don't let these distractions tempt me, and that I stay focused, because I want to complete my book this year. And I have written more than I had in the past, which I'm so excited about. But I have a lot of ways to go. So, yeah. So incorporating God, incorporating prayer into my daily routine is something that I also aspire to do. I already do it more in my nighttime routine. Um, and that definitely helps me go to bed and sleep good. Another thing that the preacher mentioned, he did this anecdote of him when he first traveled, or when he first moved to New York City. He was carrying this really heavy bag, and he was carrying it, and he was on the subway, and he had a ways to go, and he looked down and he realized that he was still carrying the bag. And you know what he did? He plopped that thing down on the seat next to him and stuff, and he realized that he was so used to carrying his luggage, his baggage and stuff, that he didn't realize that the train could carry it for him. And he related to, some people are so used to carrying pain and carrying all these negative emotions, that when they can give that emotions and stuff to something more powerful, which is God, you know, God can carry all this stuff if you ask him to, and he's already there, you know. So I don't know if I explained that right, but I love the music, you know. There's a couple times through the service where I got emotional and stuff. So I might be going back, and it depends on with my friends when they plan on going back. I think they want to go next week or the week after that. But I love the space, the area. People were really nice, and you know, I'm not someone who follows Jesus at all. But they welcome non-Christians. They welcome along. You know, I believe in God still, so. And they had, for people who are interested, they have baptisms on Thursdays. And yeah, it's a really legit place. I recommend it for folks who are looking for a Christian community or a religious community here in New York City. And if you want to join that community, I'm sure there's also little groups within it. I think they have stuff for young adults, for children. So it's a very family-friendly environment, like I think most religious places are. And yeah, so I would give this experience a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah. Today is Monday, okay? I have the day off. And I'm going to be probably vlogging me with my other social worker friends. And we're gonna do what we do, and drink some mimosas, you know, for brunch. And yeah, right now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat something light to get it all poppin'. Okay, adios, bye. I don't know why it took me so long to finish editing this video, but I'm gonna release it today. Okay, today is Saturday. I'm gonna release it to the world. And sorry if my energy was low towards the end of the video. It's because my roommates were around, and then I don't know. I like being alone in a room when I'm filming, okay? So they don't think I'm wilding out here. But I've been going to Hillsong for the past 3 weeks. So even if my friends aren't able to go, I go by myself. And that's how, I think that's a testament to how friendly the space is, because routinely they say, even if you're, you know, you're in your beginning stage, if you're a non-believer of Jesus, you're still welcomed here. And so that definitely makes me feel a lot more comfortable. I love the songs. And I love getting a new perspective and being around people who love God, even if their religion's a little different than mine. I'm actually also going to go to a synagogue, and I might film that experience. It's a black synagogue, apparently, here in Queens. So that will be very interesting because I love seeing other Jewish folks of color. But anywho, I'm about to hop off. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys stay warm and have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye, y'all.